Hello everyone, it's Irina Dumitru, the author of Blue Fog. Also, for those who may not know this, I am a teacher. How do you like my new voice? I myself am trying to get used to it, but today I'm going to try to delight you with my beautiful, beautiful voice, while I explain the uses of present simple tense. Let's start with a question. Is it I love it or I'm loving it? Well, the phrase I'm loving it is commonly used as a slogan by McDonald's and has become widely recognized as in casual speech. While love is typically considered a stative verb and not used in continuous form, in this context, I'm loving it, it is an exception and can be understood as emphasis. So we use it for emphasis on current enjoyment, colloquial and informal use, and marketing and slogans. Except for that, we use the present simple I love it. Let's move on and see how we form the present simple tense. The affirmative form of present simple uses the basic structure subject plus base verb plus s or es for the third person singular. If you don't know this, the base verb is the verb how we find it in a dictionary, except we take out the to in front. So if it was work to work, we just use work, as in this example. They work in a software company, or she plays the piano beautifully. The sun rises in the east. As I already said, the third person singular uses a special rule which applies when ending the s or the es. For most verbs, we only add the s to form the third person singular. As for others, we add the es for verbs ending in ss, sh, ch, x, or even o. We'll talk about that later. Let's see some examples. Crosses, brushes, and goes. What about the negative form? We use the basic structure subject plus the auxiliary do does plus not plus the base verb. The first example, he doesn't like spicy food, or we do not watch TV often and she doesn't understand French. In the interrogative form, we use the basic structure do or does plus subject plus base verb, except for the cases when we start a sentence, a question with why. Why do you like sushi? Or where do you play football? Okay. But the main idea is that we use the auxiliary do and does. Does she work on weekends? Do you play football? Do they know the answer? Well, I've come up with a table where you can definitely see the changes that occur in the third person singular. So in the affirmative, we have I talk. So you talk, he talks, she talks, it talks, we talk, you talk, they talk. So we add the extra s in the third person singular, he, she, it. This is the only rule you should be aware of. In the negative form, we use the auxiliary do plus the negative not. So I don't talk. You don't talk. He doesn't talk. We never say he don't talk. or he doesn't talks, you should notice that we don't add the s in the negative or the auxiliary. We only use it in the affirmative. So it talks, we talk, you talk, and we don't talk, you don't talk, and they don't talk. As for the interrogative, do I talk? Do you talk? Does he talk? Does she talk? No S. Does it talk? Do we talk? Do you talk? Do they talk? Sorry, you can't say this, but it's do they talk? As for the short answers, we can reply by simply stating yes, I do. Yes, you do. Yes, we do. Yes, they do. Yes, he does. Yes, she does. Yes, it does. While in the negative, we say no, I don't. No, you don't. No, we don't. No, they don't. And no, he doesn't. No, she doesn't. No, it doesn't. We never say no, he don't. Yep. The third person singular for the regular verbs adds an extra s for he, she, it, as in think, thinks, clap, claps. As we mentioned before, there are certain verbs that end in double s, sh, ch, and x and o. So let's see some examples. We don't say I cross, he crosses. We need to add an extra E because it wouldn't be able to be pronounced. So we say he crosses. The same thing applies to the verb catch. I catch, he catches, nope, he catches. And I fish, he fishes. And mix, he mixes. And I do, and he does. And I go, and he goes. This is where we get the ES in the questions, if you can't remember. With verbs ending in a consonant and the Y letter, we change the Y to an IES. So the Y becomes an I and we add the extra ES. Let's have an example. So fly, to fly. We have a consonant sound which is L and the Y, the ending Y. The Y becomes an I and we add the E and the S. He flies. Or to cry, I cry, he cries. So CRIES. But with verbs ending in a vowel and the Y letter, we just add the S as usual. Let's have an example. I play, he plays, of course. We use present simple and habitual actions. Present simple tense is used for habitual actions that happen regularly with often frequency verbs like often, always, ever, never, sometimes, generally, occasionally, usually, hardly, seldom, scarcely, rarely, hardly, ever. He usually exercises after work. Oh, I don't, but he does. He usually does this. But remember, when we have words such as hardly, scarcely, hardly ever, seldom, and rarely, these are adverbs of frequency and emphasis. They are not to be used with negatives, with the not, because it already has a negative meaning. It can be used in a sentence with non-negative information and in affirmative, of course. So, she seldom says hi or greets anyone. She hardly ever wears dresses. I scarcely talk to him. We use present simple in general truth and facts. Uh, we use them for statements that are always true or factual, as in water boils at 100 degrees or water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. And the earth orbits the sun. This is a fact. And plants produce oxygen through photosynthesis. So it's a fact, it's true. We use present simple. We also use present simple for scheduled events. We use them for timetables or schedules, especially for public transportation. The train departs at 6 p.m. and the class begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow. The museum opens at 9 a.m. daily. Daily. Remember that we use it for routines, and there's a difference between the train departs at 6 a.m. Maybe the other day it didn't depart, but tomorrow, as scheduled, the train departs at 6 p.m. We use it for expressing preferences and which are typical for a person. Like she likes rock music and they love each other. I prefer fast food rather than cooked meals. Well, I don't, but it's an example of a sentence. Let's move on. Quoting and reporting uses present simple. We use it in indirect speech for quoting and reporting. As I said, I've got a call from Anne. She says she wants to see me. She isn't doing this right now. I'm just using indirect speech to say what she said in the call. The minister has just given an interview. He states the country needs to prepare for war. The sign says no smoking. So this is a quotation. We use it in narrative and commentary and storytelling and sports commentary to describe actions. The detective finds the crucial clue and solves the case. The baseball player jumps and scores a three-pointer. We also use it for permanent situations and states, such as she lives in Paris. It describes a situation that is generally true over a long period. And he works as an engineer. They own a successful restaurant. We also use present simple in instructions and directions. We use for giving instructions, directions, or recipes. Go outside and bring me the mop. Turn right at the traffic light and continue straight. Add 2 cups of flour and mix well. We also use do and does in present simple in the affirmative for statements of emphasis. So, you don't enjoy spicy food, do you? Actually, I do enjoy spicy food, especially curries. We could have answered, I enjoy spicy food. But when I say I do enjoy it, I'm emphasizing the fact that I really like this kind of food. The movie isn't very interesting, but it does get better towards the end. It does get better. Stative verbs are verbs that are not usually used in continuous form. These verbs describe states and conditions that are generally true. Verbs such as verbs of perception and senses, hear, see, smell, taste, and verbs of emotion and feeling, love, hate, like, dislike, and prefer. Verbs of thinking, know, believe, understand, mean, recognize, realize, remember, and forget. verbs of perception such as have, own, and belong. Here are some examples. I believe in honesty. We don't say I'm believing in honesty. Never ever do this. She owns a car, not she is owning a car, no. He understands the concept well, not he is understanding, of course. And they prefer tea over coffee, not they are preferring. Yeah, sure. Well, that's the end now. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't scare you with my voice. If you enjoyed my video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And I'm Irina Dumitru, the author of Blue Fog and Sophie the Robot with a Soul. I wish you all a great day and bye now.